yes, yes, we are here. We are back. We are live. What's going on, people? Thank you for tuning in. My name is Mr. Kevlar Treatum Swell, joined with me as always, Mr. Skip from Skips, Trophies, and More, and his dastardly sidekick, Mr. Diamond Dirty D. Fellas, as we see, with D peeking out from behind the blinds back there.
First of all, you're not gonna disrespect me. I'm not a sidekick, sir.
That's a sidekick. I thought I said duo.
Yes, you
Dynamic
did.
duo.
When,
I said
No,
sidekick.
and,
Oh shit.
and
My bad.
again, and
you
when you
said
address
sidekick.
and
You
you
said you
address me
sidekick. This is good.
for the rest of the year is this right here. Two time, okay, two time,
Ooh,
Address you.
two time.
look at that. That is pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Go ahead and show off that bottle right there. Even though that's last year's, he'll have the new one at some point.
Yes, we will have a new one. Kel provided me with this, and I really appreciate you, brother, with this. It doesn't have any alcoholic beverage in it, mother. So I really
So what?
appreciate
What if it did? I mean,
uh, sir, thank you. The champion is speaking. Nobody asked you to say that.
I'm glad he is such a big part of it. The Bulldogs couldn't have done it without you, D. Round of applause, baby.
Thank you, sir.
Round of applause.
Thank you.
Because
is
damn,
that what we're doing?
Thank you.
Is that what we're doing?
Don't you say a word, buddy. Don't you say a word. Because I dug up some dirt on them canes. Don't you say a word.
Well, hey man, let's we gonna talk about it, D. But before we do, I gotta play this clip, man. I gotta play it.
Yes.
Trust your preparation. No. Your ass is prepared for this shit for fucking 365 days. I think about them fuckers in that locker room. Think about getting our opportunity. All the shit you went through this week to get ready for this game. Now is when you pay the fucking price. You go out there with energy, enthusiasm. Hey, guys, ain't nobody in this room should be cautious. Ain't nobody in this room should be nervous about shit. Go out here and fuck their ass up. Don't think about scoreboard. Don't think about shit. Don't think about knocking the shit out of them. And you know what Doc said on Monday? When I sat in that fucking meeting, I wanted to go fucking play right then. Tore your shit up right here. 2 years ago, fucked your shit up. Goddamn pride and joy tells me you fuck these guys up. You go play the right way. You play the right way. You knock their ass off. You stay off the fucking ground. You tackle the fucking man with the ball. The shit's easy. Look at the right shit. Punish their ass on offense and kick their ass on special teams, guys. It's about who the fuck we are. I believe in you. Let's go.
Didn't that make you just want to go strap up them fucking pads and go play 60 minutes?
No.
Oh my God! Well, I don't know about you, but I was. That is a speech.
Sir, I'm gonna be honest with you. Go ahead.
That happened all the time we was growing up. That was every game. That wasn't just a championship game. So that's new to you because y'all ain't used to being talked to that way.
That's
but
not
when
true.
I was growing up, when I was growing up, my coach would grab us by the shoulder pads and shake us like shaking baby syndrome. What the fuck you talking about?
I can tell you, we got slapped in the head, beat, whatever, cussed out, called everything. Let me tell you something. If that didn't get you, if you weren't ready to play, or even get you, you need to play that as an alarm to get your ass up and go to work every damn day. And provide for your damn family.
No. But that was a good speech, though. It definitely was a good speech. That was an eye opener to hear it this day and age. Because when I was growing up, that was the norm, plus some more cuss words. but the fact that he said it the way he said it, you knocked their ass off. Tackle a motherfucker. This shit's easy.
The shit's easy. Oh my God.
No. Go out there and fuck their ass up. Now that is more.
But now, let him say it, go out there and knock one of the motherfuckers out. They'd have had him, oh my God, he's advocating killing and all that. But he said it just right. He worded it perfectly.
Do you think that was all off the cuff, or he had to practice that one in the mirror a couple times?
I think it was one of the ones where let me light a fire under their ass. Because I don't think he talks like that every game.
Oh no, he cussed him out your Kent State game.
Well, yeah, that was after the game.
Halftime.
Okay, well, again, they shouldn't have been losing that. That was triggered because they were losing to an inferior team. There was a lot of talk about this team actually beating them, in the media and whatnot. And that's part of what he was pissed off about. But I think it was off the cuff. I think it was planned to do, but the wording, I think that was just he spoke from the heart. That's what it sounded like to me.
Well, as the headline says, and as all the viewers know, UGA destroyed TCU. And I know our graphic down there is a little off, but man, what was it? Most points ever scored in a bowl game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple of other records they had out there too. D.
Largest margin of victory.
Mm-hmm.
In a bowl game. I think that was. I know they it was the worst viewership ever for a bowl game, which was expected. That's about it. We know that they got at bets on all the games. He lost, I think, Skip $2.9 million.
Yeah, that's a drop in the bucket to him.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
but if he had won, he'd have been on every news channel, every network, and everything. So
yeah, so a lot of different records set. I'm happy, I'm happy with the ending. We had some bad news and to go out to the Bulldog family because we lost one of the linemen and one of the recruiters. Go ahead, Skip.
She wasn't a recruiter. She was like
she was a recruiter,
right?
Yeah, recruiting aid.
Aid, okay.
Now, recruiting aid.
Watch this. Ain't no more gonna be said about that accident because she was driving, and I think alcohol was involved. See, if it had been a kid, they'd be blasting her, do a blood alcohol test, blah blah blah. But she was driving, and they ran into a tree. They hit 2 or 3 trees instead. So they had
a pole. They hit a pole, 2 poles, and some trees.
Now, didn't he announced he was going to go into the draft on Saturday?
No, that wasn't him.
No, that wasn't him. Okay, I thought. Okay.
The one that lived announced he's going into the draft.
Okay.
There was 4 people in that car.
Yeah, I know the 2 in the back seat are in like critical or something.
No, I think they got released already.
The football player's out. The young lady was still there.
But you mark my words. Since she was part of the staff, there will be no reason to why that accident happened unless 2 of the kids tell it. The 2 that survived. I promise you. Because it's going to stain the shit out of them if she was drunk.
Yeah.
It's going to stain the shit. And they're not going to mar that championship, the victory celebration and all that. It's already marred bad enough. But that's just me talking. I hope it wasn't alcohol involved. I hope it was just
a freak accident,
whatever. But that's a little crazy. Right after the celebration?
Oh, well, I must say prayers go out to their family and Bulldog Nation, man. Hey, so.
Well, Skip, that would be one of the times where I cuss Bulldog Nation out, but I can't because there was a tragedy involved. So I'm gonna echo D's sentiments and say, prayers to all involved, and my condolences, for the passing of the 2 kids.
But okay, go ahead. Yeah. Skip. I'm not going to ask D this question, but you and I sat here last week, and we had our hopes. We pretty much knew where it was going to go. We knew the outcome.
I said if Georgia didn't turn the ball over, they were going to blow them out. I said that.
But we still had our hopes of maybe TCU will at least make it a game.
Yeah.
Where did they go wrong? Was it just me, or did they just look completely unprepared for what they were coming into?
See, when you get your ass whooped, you look unprepared. They were prepared as hell. They just were outmanned. It's like Shaq. It's like D playing a one-on-one against Shaq. That's how bad it would be. There's nothing you can do to stop Shaq. That's what happened. They played the game of their lives against Michigan. You get what I'm saying? And everybody expected them to play that exact same game. And I said to you then, that was their perfect game. Nobody plays 2 perfect games in one season. Nobody. They would have had to play a perfect game. Georgia would have had to turn the ball over for them to even be relevant in that game. And that's what I expected to happen.
Yeah.
I wanted them to score 80 points. Once they got to 40, I was like, shit, they can get 40 more. Because this goes to show you that these teams, these less than teams, they can have a good year. But now you watch. I don't think they're losing a lot of players to the draft. They won't even crack the top 10 next year. They won't crack the top 10.
I'm gonna beg to differ with you on that. They got about 19 4 stars coming in on the recruit.
Okay.
They kind of good, but I don't think they'll be back in playoff contention. No, that's not
They
gonna
won't be
happen.
in the top 10. They can have 19 5-stars. You're missing my point. If everything works in unison like it's supposed to, you have a season like TSU had, like TCU had. Is it TSU?
TCU,
TCU,
Texas
that's
Christian
Tennessee.
University.
Yeah.
Yes.
If everything works like it's
Thank you.
supposed to, everything gels, then you have a TCU season. I don't think even with 19 5-stars, they can put that type of product on the field again. I know. I'm just saying, even if it was 5 stars,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't think they could put that type of product on the field again. Number one, these guys, it's not their first year playing together, and everything just gelled. And now they're going to lose some of the key parts and then replace it with 4-star players. I don't see them being. They're going to be in the top 10 beginning of the season, and 5 games in, we won't hear no more about them. I promise you.
Well, just found out that now Dion and the Colorado Buffaloes have to open up with TCU. They tried to get a 0 weeks game against Arizona State, and NCAA stopped it. So we'll find out exactly what they all about first game of the season.
I think what we'll do is we'll find out what Dion is about because
That
Colorado
too.
only won one game
He's
last
gonna
year.
go in.
Right.
Dion's
So,
gonna go in with a head full of
we're gonna
steam.
see what his coaching staff can do with the product that they got now. Because now you're dealing with monsters compared to high school kids at the HBCU that he had to deal with. He has 350-pound average lineman now, whereas he had 240, 250, 260 at the HBCU. So this is going to be more about what Dion can do with a 1-11 team versus what TCU can do with, with
A
the
13-2 team.
Yeah, returning 13-2 team, in my opinion. But I think Colorado just manhandled them. I do. I think they do. I right now I picked them to win by 10, and I don't even know what product they got. That's how much I lack belief in TCU.
Well, we see it. We've seen it in years past. I mean, go back to Cincinnati and Notre Dame and UCF and these smaller schools that have that Cinderella season and they get into the playoffs. And then they just get fucking railroaded.
Well,
that's when it's time to man up, though.
But
I know, but like look at the Georgia Ohio State game. Personal opinion, and I know it can't be like that. That should have been the championship game. That was a championship caliber game to watch. As a viewer,
would have been had TCU dropped the spot like they were supposed to. It would have been that. It would have been Georgia, TCU, and Ohio State, Michigan, and I think Ohio State would have beat Michigan.
And I remember you calling bullshit on TCU not dropping a spot after losing that championship game of theirs.
Yes. TCU lose to the number 8 ranked team. Michigan lose to the number 3 ranked team. They drop 4 spots. TCU don't move a spot. That's bullshit. But I don't get that. You lose to the 3rd best team in the country and you lose 3 spots. TCU lose to the 8th best team in the country and they don't drop a spot.
Well, we knew when we discussed this, we knew what was going on. They was banking on Michigan beating them and Ohio State beating Georgia, so they can have for the first time ever a Big Ten championship game for all the marbles, like we've been seeing over the years with SEC. So that's what they was banking on, and TCU spoiled them, and we got the more competitive game with Ohio State, which we already knew that was going to be the game. We knew that.
But I saw a thing on Instagram or Facebook, and it says 16 of 17 last national championships of the last 17 national championships was in SEC, was in the Southeastern region.
I think I sent that to the.
Okay, yeah, you posted.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
because they said the secret ingredient was Waffle House. Because out of those like 3 or 4 states that it was in, they also have the highest number of Waffle Houses per capita. So that was
Georgia got more Waffle Houses than everybody in the country.
Like 300 and something. I mean, I can name 5 right here within a 2-mile radius of the house.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, D, you got anything left to add for your back-to-back national
Well,
champion?
hold on. You know what? Before he do that, congratulations, brother. You've been riding your motherfucking 747 the whole year. You ain't waving not once. Congratulations, man. Y'all did the goddamn thing. Congrats. That is.
Woo!
Okay.
And D, I got another surprise coming for you here by the end of the show. So
Okay.
some more.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, I think we reloaded, we ready to go, and this is gonna be the first time we will be probably ranked number one and be a chance for the first three-peat ever in college football. We're poised to do that. The scheduling is what the scheduling is. So hey, it is what it is. You got to beat who you play. We never know who will show up. I want to go back what Skip was talking about when you brought up the Cincinnati's and all these teams. You see these Cinderella stories. What happens with these 10 teams, Kel? The coach leaves and gets another job, and we never hear from these mid-major type low-level schools. UCF has not been on a blemish. Scott Frost left with his alma mater, Nebraska. They ran him out of town real quickly. So they get all this hype. I think Cincinnati coach, he's taking another job to Skip after his two-year reign. And I'm not mad at him. That's why I said we don't ever hear too much flack about those coaches jumping to other teams when they get a better opportunity. Hey, it's a springboard. We can see can you do it on this level. So hey, right now the only one in my mind, Skip, like I said, we talked about it earlier. LSU coach, he came from Cincinnati, went to Notre Dame, went to LSU, and he's had success, winning 10 games in his first 2 years in the program.
But that's a sign of a good coach. That's a sign of a coach with a plan, with the whole blueprint of what he wants his program to be. And he's going to programs where he has the opportunity to implement that. So, we can take a Dion who did that at HBCU and if we throw him into Auburn, he fails miserably because of all the competition he's going to have with recruiting. But you go to Colorado, you can get all the 5 stars from up that way because you Dion. And then you can handpick the ones like you did with the cornerback a couple of years back from down south. But if he was in Auburn, he wouldn't be able to get a hell of a recruiting class like he can at Colorado, in my opinion.
I think he did the right move. He has a stranglehold. He's going to have a stranglehold on that division. Once like we see at USC and UCLA leave, they already, I meant to tell you too, they have already penciled in 2 of his games as a primetime game already.
Of course.
And and then they'll switch the schedule around as he goes through the season. So
you think game day is going to try to get out there?
Yeah, game day going.
They're going to be out there twice.
I think they'll be out there at least twice.
Let him win the first 3 games and watch.
Watch this. So more than likely the kickoff classic, Georgia might play in anybody who's going to be here at the Dome. We know that. That TCU game in Colorado, game day might show up there, depending on where they play.
I think so. Now, that's a good call. I think so, too. Because of who TCU was this year.
That's right. That's right.
That's why they're going to show up there.
And
then the interesting, let's see what primetime is going to do first game out.
Then you'll see probably a media frenzy with their scheduling. You'll see both Colorado and USC on one of them game day games, regardless of records, because you got a Heisman Trophy winner, first year primetime coach. All that's gonna be it's money, it's media money.
Of course, yeah, hell yeah. But what is this? It's gonna be interesting. But enough about them garbage ass Bulldogs. I don't get. Oh, my bad. Bo Vincent Parker, you too, sir. You are correct. You have been a loyal Bulldog fan as long as I've known you, because I rolled your ass like a horse for a long time. Woo! But congratulations to you too, brother, and Kent as well. If he's in the chat, I ain't seen him yet, but congrats to all y'all Bulldog fans, man. Y'all stayed and y'all endured and y'all won. So y'all ain't gonna never get this kind of me no more.
All right, fellas, you know what time it is. what? Sorry. Super wild card weekend is almost to a close. There is one game left tonight, but we are going to start from the top here.
Bang, bang.
Them damn 49ers.
Ain't no damn 49ers.
They
Y'all
have
got the
the
players, boy. Y'all win tonight. You might as well go ahead and go on the injury reserve and get everybody off there because we go
Can we
knock a
finish?
knot in y'all ass next
Can we
week.
finish? Take a second.
Yeah.
Them 49ers had the biggest blowout win of the weekend, and I gotta give it to them.
You ain't got no choice. You ain't got no choice.
41-17. They got it. And for a minute there, they gave the Seahawks a little bit of life. The Seahawks had a little bit of life in the first couple quarters.
It's the playoffs, you know.
Yeah, of course. It's gonna be a good game.
Man,
And they would have. Hey, look, man, your Niners. They were the only ones this weekend that just took the fuck off on the team. You know what I mean? So y'all got the job done. And also, of course, Skip picked his 49ers, and he also did. So we wash on that one. Now,
we ain't watch on the moments though, dog. We ain't watch on the moments.
wash on.
Well, finish with your 49ers situation.
Yeah. Go ahead, Skip. I was just gonna let you talk about it. And
what I like what Shanahan is doing is he's letting Brock Purdy be Brock Purdy. Don't expect him to throw 50-yard slants or 50-yard posts or go routes, none of that. Give him something to get him into the rhythm, and then let him play. Give him more of the playbook. It's not like they would expect, like the Dolphins. We're gonna talk about them too. Like what they expected out of their quarterbacking. Those are still second and third string quarterbacks for a reason, and you can't expect them to do what Tua would have done. They got more delay of game. We'll talk about that when we get to the Dolphins. But again, Shanahan is coaching his ass off. He's coaching his ass off. And Brock Purdy is doing everything he needs to do to show in the next couple of years he won't be a 49er no more. He's going to be on somebody else's team. This is his first year, so we're looking at, 3-4 year Mr. Relevant, I think they only get 2-year contracts. So in 3 years' time, unless, we're only going to have him because Garoppolo going to be gone. So he gonna be one of the highest paid backups behind our old boy. Or he gonna be on somebody else's team competing for the starting position in 3 years, in 2 years. Yeah, because I ain't never seen a backup quarterback get franchised.
Well, there's been a lot of talk. Sorry to cut you off, D, but there's been a lot of talks about who is to. I don't know, who do you give the recognition to for this 49ers success right now with Brock Purdy?
The defense.
Is it? Well, hang on. Is it Brock Purdy playing well in Kyle Shanahan's system, or is it just Brock Purdy being good? That's the big talk that I'm hearing right now.
My opinion is this: it doesn't matter where you pick that. Once you get your opportunity, you got to show up and show who you are. Tom Brady went in the 6th round. People forget that. You see what I'm saying? And he would have been a career backup if Drew Bledsoe don't get hurt. So talent, it doesn't matter where talent gets picked at. It matters if talent gets a chance to show itself. And that's what's happening with Brock Purdy. He's on the perfect team for him. It's his style of offense. You got an awesome-ass defense. All you got to do is manage the game the right way, which is what backups are expected to do, and you'll look like the hero, which is what he's looking like. One of his names is BCB. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all see that after the game? You know what? BCB, they call him Big Cock Brock.
Oh, I saw somebody with a sign big, and then they had a chicken on there. Yeah,
right.
I did see that.
What the man is doing is he's showing that he can improvise when need be. He can run. He's not super fast, but you know what? Let me get 2 or 3 yards and get out. Let me manage the game like I'm supposed to, because all eyes are on me now. And all these guys depend on me not to fuck the game up, because my defense, like the Baltimore Ravens defense used to do back in the day, my defense going to win us this game. They're going to put me in a position where I can kick field goals, get a little dink touchdown here, and we're going to win. So he's smart. He's a very good quarterback. Well, I'm going to take the very good out of the equation right now. He's doing well. He's going to fall off that slope eventually. Or your boy come back after they win, lose, whatever here in the playoffs. But they know what they got on the bench. That's it. But go D.
I think Shanahan is putting a good game plan together, and what I believe that they simplifying this for this young man to the point of you don't turn the ball over, we're gonna win the football game because we know our defense is gonna cause issues. This is with field position, game managing, and so forth. Same thing if anybody want to go back and look up New England's history. Tom Brady was not a world beating quarterback. Belichick had it the same way. They had a good defense, a run game. You don't turn the ball over, we'll win and we'll game manage. I'm just gonna say it. I thought Seattle was gonna put up a fight, but when they got off the bus, it was an ass whooping coming. I mean, it got out of hand real quickly, and I was just like, come on to the next game, which we're about to discuss. So I really care. I really want y'all to win tonight because we will get to see a rematch of last year. We'll see the blue bloods of the NFC of the 49ers and the Cowboys, which I would like to see. And I would like to see the 49ers. I would like to see the 49ers stuff a mud hole in your ass. So,
they got their foot cocked back right now.
so I mean, so you
Size
know,
14 just primed to kick
so
somebody's ass off their back.
hey, listen, man, the 49ers are a very dangerous team right now in these playoffs. Very dangerous.
I know this. Not Minnesota. Damn it, the Giants are nothing to play with.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into
Okay,
that
go.
actually.
My bad.
Oh, you
All
got
right.
anything to add
No,
on the
man.
49ers before
I
we
just
move
can't
on?
wait to see who we play.
Yeah, and we will know something in about 4.5 hours here. So next up on here, man, we had them G-men go to Minnesota, and all that I kept pointing out was these Minnesota last-minute wins,
Change it
and
up.
I didn't think that they could do it again against Brian Daboll's team. So the G-men are moving on. They go play Philly. This was it Saturday. Believe y'all got the Saturday game at 8:15. Yeah,
Change the header.
man. Oh, it's the header.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go, man. Giants going. D, you picked the Vikings. Mr. Skip had his boys up there in blue. Hey, and before I forget this, the score is now 13-10. It was
Okay.
11-9 last week. You won 2 this week, Skip, and D won 1. Sorry, that damn rooster gets me every time. So yeah, man, what y'all see in that game? Where did the Vikings go wrong? What did the Giants do right? What did we see?
You want to go first, dude? You want me to go first?
I got you because you won. I go first because and so
Okay.
you have your way. First of all, Kirk Cousins, and then we're gonna go through the Vikings whole season. The Vikings record looked good on paper, but they didn't play as what their record stated to me.
Of course not.
And what I mean is by that, every game that they lost, they was getting their ass whooped. They came back and won some games in last second with some heroics or the Buffalo game, like you said, all the dude had to do was down the ball and he fumbled on the one and let them back in. But I knew this was going to be a competitive game, and the way that game was going, uh, Danny Dimes was running for his life, and they got Saquon Barkley. And don't get me wrong, as an Eagles fan, I am not overlooking because it's going to be the third time we got to play them.
Oh, you
And
beat
it's
somebody 3
hard to beat
times.
it. It's hard to beat a team 3 times because they got film on you and you got film on them. And Saquon them didn't play this last game. So, man, and like I told you, momentum is a killer in these playoffs. It is a killer. I don't know where the Vikings go. The Vikings first year he had coached, and that was being successful, but they started catching up to what they was doing, man. I mean, hey, you couldn't get the ball to Jefferson. He had 7 catches, 49 yards, and it was one big catch, and after that, he really didn't do anything. Thielen was nowhere to be seen. Hawkinson had a good game, but you just couldn't pull it out. And we see this with Kirk Cousins quarterback teams constantly. Go ahead, Skip.
Defense. They knew they couldn't out offense Minnesota. The offenses don't match up. If you go offense score for score, Minnesota going to beat them every damn time. So what the defensive coordinator for the Giants did was let's take Jefferson away and make him work, make him quarterback. So yeah, Jefferson had the one big play, but after that it was a first down or 6-yard slant or something else, and they double covered his ass. We're gonna show you right now. You're not coming to him. Beat us somewhere else, and he couldn't. That's that one-dimensional shit. If I get Justin Jefferson in the game, then I can pick on my other guys because they itching to go. But now there's no Kickstarter by us getting Jefferson all hyped up to get everybody else ready to go. And the Giants executed their defensive game plan flawlessly. You took the best receiver in the game out of the game early and said, okay, now beat us with your running back. Beat us with your quarterback. Beat us with your tight end, but you're not beating us with him. And the team in the offense, I don't think they had but one turnover, correct?
Yeah.
No, did they have a turnover?
I don't think they had any. No, because they were talking about that on NFL radio today. That was the key.
You manage the game on offense, score when you can, and the quarterback showed up. He really did. I mean, he scrambled. He was running up. He tried not to run out of bounds a couple of times. I'm like, all right, now your ass will be playing next week. But they executed the game plan, man. And this is coaching, yes, but the execution of the coach's plan is what won the Giants the game. Don't go out there and try to overdo it. Just stop him, take him out the game, and then we're going to let the other 9 guys manage the other 10 guys and see if we lose that way, then we deserve to lose. But it just shows that Minnesota's one-dimensional. Yeah, they got Dalvin Cook at running back, and he a monster. But the passing game sets up the running game, just like the running game sets up the passing game. So if we take the passing game away, Dalvin Cook got to run into some motherfuckers. Now, ain't no holes there for him no more. So good game plan, man. That's what that was.
Dalvin Cook, you son of a bitch, you lost me my $500 hit. All I needed was Dalvin Cook to get one rushing touchdown. I hit on all 4 other players that I needed, and I would have had that damn money. Hey, look, I put up fucking 25 to win 500. So I was hoping I could hit that, but
it's real funny. That joker said a $500 hit. What?
Just what you gonna be saying about them Cowboys the time Brady fuck around and get his feet off the ground. What the fuck they doing? Sacking.
We're gonna get into that before I get off topic. So last thing on these G-men here. This Daniel Jones 3rd year rookie contract coming to an end.
They better pay him.
And I think this year he has played his best year of football since he got in.
Well, they didn't pick up the option on his contract, on his rookie contract.
Right.
So he basically is a free agent unless they're going to franchise him. I don't see them doing that.
They're going to sign him.
But they might sign him to a deal because they got to sign Saquon also. Saquon's contract is coming up too. So you're going to have to make a decision on where you want to go with that money. But he's played down the stretch some good football. And now it looks like the coaches that were previously before coaching that team, they look like a bunch of idiots because this man is playing in a system of where his skill set is known. Now, what really tripped me out, Skip, is how he was running like every other play. He was running like hell. Now, if that would have been anybody else, they would have given a lot of criticism to today about running around like that. But hey, they won. Now he's giving them
those runs. Those were not design runs. Those were run for your life runs.
Yeah, because they got injuries on the offensive line. But I think their ceiling will come to an end coming next Saturday night, and he will not be running around like that on the Bird game. I don't think he's going to do that. He's going to get his cap peeled.
Hey, like you said, D, these are your words. It's hard to beat a team 3 times, so we'll see how it goes.
We beat Seattle, but I mean, it was a struggle.
It was tough.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and hey, man, and I hate to say it, G-men are playing like Skip said it. They're playing some good ball. They're playing hard. And it's just playoffs. Playoff is something different in the air when playoffs.
It's a whole nother world.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole nother season in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. All right, fellas. So the next up, we had the Dolphins and the Bills. Now, the Bills did come away with a win, but did you see any weakness?
With Buffalo?
From Buffalo, being up 17-0, and within 7 minutes of the second quarter left,
Header.
there was it was a tie ball game.
Want me to go first?
I got you.
Go.
First and foremost, if we look at the Bills' last maybe 3 or 4 games, Josh Allen hasn't played lights out football. He hasn't. He's been turning the ball over. Teams have been in games besides the one they got stopped because of the situation. But teams up there have gotten up on leads and teams have come back. We just mentioned the Vikings. They was beating the Vikings, beating the hell out of the Vikings. Vikings got back in the game. So I mean the Bills right now, out of all teams left in the playoffs, somebody can go up there and beat them in Buffalo. As we know now that Cincinnati is going back up there to play again. And who's to say unfortunate incident, they wouldn't have home field advantage because I didn't see them beat Cincinnati in that game they played a couple of weeks ago. They got stopped. So no, Miami beat them down in Miami early in the season, gave them fits the whole time. They went back up there when they played the second game. It was pretty a back and forth game outside of Tua's injuries and so forth. And if it was better quarterback play for Miami, we would be having a different conversation today.
Well, hindsight, we can say that better quarterback. But Buffalo made a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes yesterday, a whole lot, to even get Miami back in the game. Those fumbles, what was the kick? What was it? The punt, or was that a kick?
It was a block. I think it was a block punt off kick. Or no, it was the kickoff from
into the guy's
kickoff. Halftime opener.
Yeah, the better team won, but the Dolphins should have won. Now, I don't mean I would have picked them to beat Buffalo because I didn't, but they didn't capitalize when they had the chance to. Every other team this weekend, when the other team made a mistake, they punched them in the mouth. And Miami couldn't do that. And that just goes to show how important the quarterback position is. Because, like you said, if they had Tua, it would have been a blowout. It would have been a blowout. Tua would have put that ball where it needed to be. And if you notice, the other quarterback didn't have to do too much running. So if Tua had been there, he wouldn't have had to do too much running. And, oh, my God, he would have been throwing darts.
Tua with a clean pocket.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but, hey, man, Skylar Thompson, he looked confident out there. I give him that.
But you got to look confident because that's your job.
Yeah.
If you're in the passenger all the time and you're delivering stuff and they say, hey, drive, you're going to drive with confidence. And that's what he did. But he also showed that he's not the quarterback of the future. You see what I'm saying? He got out there and he tried to do what he could. But, when these guys coming at you 1,000 miles an hour and you ain't used to it, that's what he showed. Mm-hmm. Now, the confidence was there, of course, because that's what you want to show. But I can't see him being the backup. And Bridgewater,
it's done.
He's going to retire. His best years were left in Minnesota.
So, we definitely think Tua's staying. Tua will be the quarterback next year for Miami.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Really?
He's coming into a contract situation too. Would you, Skip, want to sign him to a long-term deal, being the concussion situations, or you want to invest that type of money in? Will they give him a 2-year contract or something like that? Possibility, depending on what they see in the draft, what's offered. Derek Carr's out here now. You don't know what Aaron Rodgers is. If you got money in the bank to try to go after Lamar Jackson, you never know. You just never know.
Right. Now, the Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson won't happen. 2 reasons. The Ravens need to go to the CFL if they let Lamar Jackson go without franchising. That's the first thing. The second thing is Aaron Rodgers is going to command between 40 and 50 a year. Mm-hmm. Miami ain't going to pay that. I don't give a goddamn what they say. Aaron Rodgers is also long in the tooth, as they like to say. Not that he ain't still got it, but Tom Brady went to the Bucs with no expectations, and they won. If you bring Aaron Rodgers in with the offense they got, you're going to expect them to do what Tom Brady did, and it just ain't going to happen. So, back to the Tua thing. I think they signed Tua, and they just have a lot of clauses, injury clauses and everything else. And the reason being is because if you fix that offensive line, Tua the MVP this year. Because Tua don't have to scramble. And he don't get sacked and get that second concussion, and he's still playing. A lot of people fail to realize when quarterbacks like Tua and like Josh Allen, Josh Smith, or whatever his name is in Buffalo, take off and run, it's not because they have to. It's because they don't have enough time to go through their reads. Now, Vic and Lamar Jackson, they take off when they see a spot because they can run. And Mahomes. But no, if you fix that offensive line, I think that's what the Dolphins need to focus on. Don't get me wrong, they need a quarterback, backup, whatever, what have you. But let them fix that line and watch what Tua looks like next year. He did it this year with a garbage line.
So, D, if you don't think Tua is the guy who I mean, I know you've said Derek Carr and Aaron Rodgers, but realistically, who do you think Miami will get in there to complete that offense?
I just think they will be in the market for a quarterback long time because they are another one of these franchises, and Skip can agree with me on this. They've been looking for Dan Marino for the last 15, 20 years.
They'll never find him again.
And that's some of the franchises that we get stuck with. Some of these franchises are still looking, as we got Denver still looking for John Elway. You got Miami looking for Dan Marino, and we have some of the others that are still looking for some of these premier quarterbacks that we had back when we were growing up.
Yeah, but it's a different game now than what it was when those guys played. It's a completely different game. Denver actually got a flash in the pan when they got Peyton Manning. And if not for the neck injury, I think Peyton played 2-3 more years.
Yeah, he would have played.
He just couldn't afford after winning the Super Bowl. I ain't finna keep playing and get hit and be paralyzed. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's the quote everybody likes to say. Man, they still looking for Dan Marino. Of course, everybody's looking for that next Joe Montana or world-beating quarterback. It don't happen to one franchise that often. It happened in San Francisco when they got Steve Young. Then they came back with Kaepernick, and then all that stuff happened. Now they got them a quarterback that they can mold, but they won't mold them behind those quarterbacks. What are you doing, dude?
Go ahead, as a Cowboy fan walking in.
Who? Your son?
No, I could. Look.
I can't see
Wait. Don't.
Well, boy, we waiting on. He got. Oh, look at that. Oh my God!
You fucking see it.
Okay. Hey man, that stuff look like it itch. Look like it itch. Tell him it look like it itch.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you shouldn't be, because you are dirt! You make me sick, you big baby!
Hey, D, tell him what the calamine lotion is, because when you take that off, you're going to have bumps all over him.
All right, fellas, we got 2 more games to go over from last week, and then we got some ones for this week. Actually, 2 more. Yeah. All right, so, man, the Ravens and the Bengals. Now, y'all washed on that one because Skip's implication was with Lamar.
Exactly.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. He won that one. He picked the Bengals, yeah.
Did I?
No, D picked the Bengals. You said the Ravens with Lamar. Oh, so that does equal a wash. That does equal a wash.
If Lamar Jackson had played, just now see that's the importance of quarterbacks, which is why I don't understand. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this here, and I'm gonna be wrong if it comes out. Lamar Jackson. And I don't know if he graduated what he did in school, but when you're a criminal and you defend yourself, they said you have a fool for a client. You need to get some representatives to get you that money and go and sign that contract and go play football. You can't be you're not a good agent. I mean, there's no way it's his fault. I'm gonna say that though. I think the other Ravens are probably trying to shortchange him. But man, no. They know they need him now.
No, we'll get into Lamar here in just a second, but the Ravens defense played really well. The only thing the ending of the game was Tyler Huntley's fumble on the 1. That. Because there wasn't another score after that. That was the deciding factor of that game. And, man, that is a hell of a who's that? Sam Howard ran a D lineman ran that shit back 90. I bet he was tired.
Of course, you
Let
see
me
him
see.
working, man. You remember the
That
Super
was
Bowl your boy did it for Pittsburgh?
Yeah,
The big fat. Well, he
yeah,
ain't
the big
fat.
boy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he did it for
James Harrison. James
Look,
Yeah,
Harrison.
even
James
them
Harrison.
NFL boys, even their guts got muscle. I mean,
Listen,
you could.
that was a physical game from the beginning to the end.
Mhm.
All the way through. They were playing with physicality the whole game. I'm gonna be honest with you. Cincinnati has a very good chance of going back to the Super Bowl because they already got Kansas City number if we overlook it. In fact, Kansas City is gonna win their game. I am picking Cincinnati to beat Buffalo before we even go there. So that's what I'm going with. So I mean, I'm just telling you straight up. That Jamar Chase, Higgins, Joe Mixon and Joe Burrow, it's a hard offensive combination to go against. And I don't think Buffalo has enough firepower to go tit for tat with them. I don't. I don't. And I agree. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to agree that if we would have had Lamar Jackson, those two teams are the teams I look in that game that got played. Cincinnati is poised to go back to the Super Bowl. Because it's usually you can figure out if you look at these playoffs and these matchups, you can tell what team gets the momentum, and you be like, oh, whoever wins this game right here, I think they're going to the Super Bowl. Like right now, if you look at, and I'm just being honest with you, besides me being a fan, whatever goes on tonight and next week, the odds are favored. Whoever goes against San Francisco will be the team that going to represent the Super Bowl. Regardless of what Philly, and I'm a Philly fan, I just know the steeper competition you get, the easier for you to go, and then all your stuff is working. That's what That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
So and then that's just being real. That's why I say I'm going with Cincinnati all the way through.
Ooh, damn, that's a whole murderer's row they got to go
Well,
through.
that's what I'm saying. If they get past Buffalo, you already know they got
I
Kansas
think they
City
got
number.
the Chiefs. Yeah.
Mm.
But I don't know because
Mm.
again, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Would they be able to beat Kansas City a 4th time
No, but see,
in a row?
they ain't played them but once this year. See, they beat them twice last year. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't like they seen them like that. You know what I'm saying? So and went in Arrowhead and beat them.
Oh yeah, home field ain't nothing but just a lot of people hollering. That's the way I see it. All they doing is screaming. Cause
Well,
boy, you get out there and play your game, you don't even hear that shit.
Mm.
But that's a hell of a pick, D. I'm definitely picking Buffalo on that one.
well, we're gonna get into that here in just a second. We got one more game that has
Okay.
been played, and I said it last week. I thought this was going to be the most exciting game of the weekend, and you know what? In some ways, it was. But all the games this weekend were good. All the games were good to me. But man, Goldilocks did it again. Trevor Lawrence, man, he has found his stride in these last couple of games, and he brought his team back from a 27-0.
Keep talking.
And that was 27-0 at half. They were down with 5 interceptions. I don't know if there's interceptions. 5 turnovers.
Yeah. 4 interceptions and a fumble.
So they were +5 going into halftime and come back. Go ahead, D. You got something to say here.
It ain't have shit to do with him. That's poor coaching from that man over there. And if I was the owner, I would have fired his ass before he got back on the plane to go back to LA. That is terrible. You got a 27, you got a 20-point lead with a 24-point lead at halftime. Am I correct? And you lose the football game. You lose the football game. Now don't get me
They're the
wrong.
worst off this year now from being up now. So let's not do that. Let's not act like that's the worst one.
No, I mean the Colts in that other game was the worst one. But we talking about this is playoff football.
That's exactly, and that's the
Playoff football. You're playing in enemy territory. You got to learn how to control the clock. You around here running again. We see it again. Getting cute in the red zone. You running a reverse. Now, shouts out to Doug Peterson and his staff. That defense to only give up 3 points in the second half. Hellified adjustments. Looked like they took another page out when they came back against the Cowboys because y'all was kicking their ass like that too. And They made adjustment at halftime and they came back and whooped y'all ass. So it's the same thing. Goldilocks has matured, but moving forward, he can't turn the ball over against these teams that left in the playoffs like that.
But
He goes and turns it over against Kansas City next week.
watch
You
this.
know.
Now I'm gonna say,
Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna say this: don't be surprised, because between the two defenses, Jacksonville has a better defense than Kansas City, and don't be surprised if they don't get in no shootout.
I'm gonna say this: 2 of the interceptions he threw those. Those were bad throws. One, the dude was pissed off because he was getting held and the ball was there. And you didn't even try to catch the ball. You was looking for a flag and he got the ball. That's not Trevor Lawrence's fault. It is because he's the quarterback. He threw the ball. And then the other one was a tip. It was a tip.
Yeah, one was
He thought and cut better do was coming across like that. You know,
that was his fault. You need to survey the defense. You should have known it was his zone. And you had to see him because he was standing there. Well, you didn't because you threw it. But that's one of the ones where it was his fault for throwing it. The very first interception was on a hand tip, and they caught it, correct?
Yeah.
So 2 of them, I say, they're his fault, but it wasn't his bad judgment. It was something out of his control. Now, I don't call it, what's the boy name? Sunshine. That's what they call him in the
Goldilocks.
Something.
No.
Goldilocks and Sunshine.
That dude is showing y'all the next version of Aaron Rodgers. Did you see how he played? Did you see how he played in the second half?
Yeah.
So y'all fucked up. Oh yeah, we're gonna let you go. We're gonna ride you. You our horse. You our stallion. And he started putting that ball where it needed to be. His receivers did not stop and cut the routes off. He put the ball where it was. And that is the mark of a great quarterback if I ever seen it. Peyton Manning went 1-15 his first year and led the league in interceptions and Hall of Fame now. You get what I'm saying? So the confidence that that young dude got, man, if they keep him with talent and the defense stay where they are, they can improve a little bit more. Everybody can improve some more, but if they keep him with some offensive weapons, he gonna be in the conversation every year.
And they have a young nucleus too. Him and Travis Etienne and him, and they get him another receiver because Marvin Jones is a little on the back end of his what's called him. I bet Everett Ingram or the guy playing tight end. So
Ain't Marvin Harrison coming out this year?
No.
He's staying.
Yes.
I was just going to say, if he's coming out, watch Jacksonville ease up there and get him.
Now that they have to go play against Kansas City. Doug Peterson is a disciple of Andy Reid. He was Andy Reid quarterback when Andy Reid first took over before Donovan McNabb. So this is a very key matchup. I hope everybody don't put all your money on Kansas City. You might see a shootout over here.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I'm gonna tell you, Kansas City general manager, player personnel, and Doug Peterson. Them drafting that boy out of Georgia, #1, is making everybody eat crow because they like, oh, he ain't this, that, whatever. That guy has been balling, has he not, Skip?
Yes.
Taylor Walker has been balling. Again, University of Georgia.
Like you said about Cincinnati, I'm riding Jacksonville. The same way you riding Cincinnati because of momentum, I'm riding Jacksonville on that same momentum. I don't care who they play. I think I'm gonna choose them because of what y'all just said. The defense, defense for defense, they are the better defense. But what I saw in the second half from Jacksonville's defense shows me that Pat Mahomes can't fuck around. Because when you fuck around, you find out.
You got to see how much you can fuck around.
Yeah, because that's gonna be my horse in the AFC.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, we're about to go into the picks for this week. I know y'all have already named some of yours. I'm just trying to speed us up here. So we already made the picks for this Monday night game. Of course, Skip went with the boys, and Dirty D went with the Bucks. So, as a Cowboys fan, the only thing, D went with the Bucks. You went with the Cowboys.
Fix that pick if you want to fix it. Fix that. I can't. No, fix that pick if you want to fix it. No. I don't want to win like that.
I actually want the Cowboys to win this game because I want
Well,
49
fix that pick.
Cowboys.
No, I'd rather leave it like that. Fix that.
I'll take it Cowboys.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised they fuck it up, but I'm gonna take Cowboys.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I want to win, but I don't want to win like that. I just got that well. We were just talking shit.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Tom Brady 7-0 against the Cowboys. I need this streak to end. And I think we don't want to see 49 against Tampa. We just seen this 2-3 weeks ago. I don't want to see that again. I don't.
I think this game goes one of two ways.
Mm-mm.
And it goes one of two ways, and it is all up to the Cowboys. Either we're gonna have a repeat of week 1, where Tampa Bay is gonna come out and we only gonna put up 3 points. The defense will shut down Dak. Dak will throw interceptions, or we gonna see what we saw in that Cowboys Vikings game. One of two ways: either the boys are gonna show up to fucking steamroll because they're pissed about last week's loss and the shit fucking effort they put out on that, or they're gonna show up like they did last week and Tom Brady is gonna have a fucking field day. He might not even have to throw but 1 or 2 touchdowns. It won't matter. The defense might hold.
I'm gonna tell you this, and this is my opinion. The key to this game for Tampa Bay, and this is my opinion. Julio Jones.
As the X factor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think they're playing in Dallas. No, they're playing in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Cowboys need to get the ball and score first, and get the psyching right.
Mm-hmm.
If they go on defense and Tom scores first, the defense is playing behind the 8 ball for the rest of the game, in my opinion, unless that come out like you said and just bow. But they need to get the ball and go score first, and it needs to be a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about the turnovers because turnovers happen. We've seen 5 turnovers and a win this weekend, so I'm not even gonna say if they turn the ball over they lose because we saw it happen and then they didn't lose, and then we still talking about Tom Brady, who's mounds better than Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
cool.
Okay.
Do you got anything? Sorry about that, Skip. Do you got anything to add to that? All
No,
right, fellas. Then we are going to get into this week's games before we wrap up here. The Dallas game kicks off in about 15 minutes. So first up, we got the Jags going to Arrowhead, and I believe D said he was
I'm going with Jacksonville.
Oh, I didn't say I was going to Jacksonville.
Oh, Skip.
No, I'm going to Jacksonville.
Skip going to Jacksonville. I'm gonna take Kansas City, but I'm not gonna be surprised if like we just I'm not gonna be surprised.
Damn, you losing? Why you not playing the? Damn. All right, so we got that one. The next one we got down here is the Giants and the Eagles. Know where D's going? Woo. What do we say, Mr. Skip? You got faith in your boy?
Flip Michigan Megaball.
I said I was gonna pick him, so I'm gonna ride. I'm gonna ride
like
with that.
Here. Oh,
like he just said, I expect the Eagles to win,
but
I'm gonna ride with the Giants.
All right, so then this AFC, this is the rematch. Right here, of course, we had the DeMar Hamlin situation, which we unfortunately didn't get to cover. But they're coming back, Bengals and Bills. In Buffalo.
I'm riding Cincinnati.
I'm gonna take Buffalo too. I'm gonna take Buffalo on that one. And real quick, while you getting that last pick ready, the reason I'm going with Buffalo is because of that game that got canceled. That was the bragging rights game, so to speak, and then the tragedy happened and so on and so forth. So Buffalo gonna wake up, in my opinion, in this game.
Also with that, I want to add, if the Bills win this game and the Chiefs win their game, the NFL has decided, that they will play that championship game here in Atlanta.
Woo!
Y'all can see some jerseys y'all ain't used to seeing around the city. So just
Bills Mafia.
Well, so this last one on the list, I've got a blank, but it's blank versus 49ers because we got to see the outcome of this game.
Well, it don't matter.
We know where Skip's going, and I think D's gonna be leading the same way.
Okay. Yeah, but we picked up different on the other 3 games, so we're gonna have some interesting shit going on here.
Yeah, it could be a D, this your opportunity to catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have a tie next week.
Y'all had to let him fix that shit tonight though, cause
Yeah, I got y'all both Cowboys on that. I got y'all both Cowboys on that.
yeah,
Well,
I mean, but
fellas,
that's just common sense though.
yeah.
Real quick before we go, you said the game started at 8:15, right? It was
Yep.
something we put in the chat. I wanted to talk about real quick. What was it?
Predatory coach or Ed Reed?
The Ed Reed thing, real quick. I worked at Bethune-Cookman College. Really? I'm sorry.
I know you had the clip, or you just want to go into it. Okay, we got it on the string. Go ahead, you got it. Go ahead, Skip. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I worked at Bethune-Cookman College. The same shit that Dion was complaining about, or some of the stuff that leaked out about Jackson State, happens at Bethune-Cookman. Now, I didn't work in the athletic department, so I don't know how the money is getting distributed or what have you. But I know for a fact, and this goes to Clark Atlanta football team also. So I've seen this because my wife runs the bookstores, and we were there, and I talked to some football players. These football players are having to feed themselves. They are having to rewash their football game socks.
Terrible.
Fucking ridiculous. And they got to turn them socks in. This ain't no take them home and wash them. They got to turn the socks in. So this is what the shit that Ed Reed was saying, and I didn't see exactly what he said, but he ain't told a lie. Bethune-Cookman built the new building before we moved up here because I was working there at the time. A library / part of it was for the sports teams or whatever. Brand new multi-billion-dollar building, and they put it almost a mile away from the campus. Yeah,
That's fucking stupid.
but the HBCUs now are finna get a huge spotlight, flashlight flashed on them all over. Anytime they go to try to get big name coaches or Hall of Fame type coaches, player coaches, because of this, because the money's been mismanaged for so long that it's no wonder nobody wants to go there outside of the HBCU experience because there's nothing else to offer them. No up-to-date medical facilities, no access to good coaching or anything else. So I guess we're gonna have to get into depth with it next week, but I just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah. Next week, folks, we will be back on regular schedule. So we'll have more time, and we're definitely going to go in depth on that. Skip, you got one last thing to add on that? D, you good?
No, we good.
And like I said, as we move forward, we know football season is winding down. We will have some more touching topics on the show as we get in, because I got some more research I've done when we get into the World Baseball Classic next week. And what the Braves are putting forth on Acuna, I really would like Skip to stay in depth with this Bethune-Cookman thing, because Ed Reed's a different monster than Deion Sanders. And what I mean by that is how Ed Reed, what's the word, Skip? I ain't gonna say come off. Ed Reed is gonna come.
He's more aggressive in your face. He's more old school than Deion. Now, Deion is older than Ed Reed, but Ed Reed comes from the school of hard knocks, and that's how he's going to coach.
You got Ed Reed is from Louisiana. Deion is from Florida. Ed Reed played for Miami. Deion played for Florida State. So they have played for college university, blue blood college universities, and they seen what was going on. They done been champions. These are Hall of Fame players, and so forth and so on. And you want to use them, as we say, for their name, but you don't want to put the backing behind it. And the video, we'll get into it, but that was disturbing what I see. And he issued an apology to him, but it's just frustrating.
Well, just like Deion inadvertently shined the light on Jackson State. If Jackson State had owned up to everything that they said, it never would have got out that they were mismanaging that money or fucking that money off. And now that another Hall of Fame player, coach, Ed Reed, has said this about almost the same exact things about another HBCU, they're going to be micromanaged now by the NCAA about this money, where it's coming from, because both of those schools play major schools at least once, and they get between $3 and $6 million for that one game. Bethune-Cookman plays Miami every fucking year for this reason. So there's no reason they shouldn't have upgraded facilities or better stuff than what they got. Now, I haven't been there in a long, long time. But for this man to have been on campus, what, a month now?
He said a week and a half, Skip.
There you go. And
they haven't even signed his contract yet.
Yeah, it's gonna be some eye-opening shit when it comes to the HBCUs. But that was my take on that, man. So
and hopefully next week we'll have some more information on it. Maybe some more will come out. Well, D, I forgot I already told you about this backstage, but I told you I had another surprise for you revolving around them dogs. So, folks, it is time for the lasty of the week. And the lasty of the week goes to Sonny Dykes. I'm going to say this publicly. D, just like Skip did earlier, I am sorry.
Wait a minute.
You didn't say sorry, but you gave us props, and that's the line we're going on. Had I seen the comment Sonny Dykes made before last week's show, I would have never even considered TCU to have a dog in this fight. Because as we said earlier, we see it time and time again. These smaller schools, they get in and the first thing they want to do is start talking about SEC football. Take a couple years, I guess this was 10 years or so ago when Missouri came into the SEC. And they talked all that shit. And what did Georgia do that first game they played?
Wait. Let me give you some history of Missouri. Missouri came in and went to back-to-back SEC championship games. So they had a right, sir. They went to back-to-back SEC games. Georgia and them fell off, and they went to back-to-back SEC championship games. Now they got their steamroll when they got down there, but they did go.
Missouri's first year, they got steamrolled by everybody because everybody was pissed off about them calling the SEC soft.
Well,
now be it their second and third year, they did show the fuck up. But that first year, the point we're making here is we see it too often. And Sonny Dykes came on his little press conference and said, "You're not going to catch us playing teams like the Citadel in Week 10."
But did you know what he said? But no, Skip. He said it before they played Michigan.
Oh, they only brought it out before Georgia.
Well, they played the press after they beat Michigan, but he said it in the press conference with Jim Harbaugh sitting next to him before they played Michigan. Our program ain't like the SEC game, our programs, but they do this and do this and do that and do that. And I'm like, why is he talking? Jim Harbaugh did this right here.
Harbaugh knows.
Jim Harbaugh looked at him like, "Oh, you done effed up. I'm gonna keep looking at this. We're worried about playing against you guys. I'm not talking about the SEC, but we know it. We know it. It's been like this. It was half of the draft come out the SEC.
All right, fellas. That was the lasty. We've done it for 2 weeks. What do y'all think? Y'all want to keep the segment?
It's cool with me.
Okay, cool.
But in honor and recognition of the Bulldogs and the champions, man, I'm gonna let D have my little couple of seconds.
No,
hold on. I ain't gonna give this shit to you too many times. Take it. In honor of y'all winning the championship, I'm gonna let you have our last little couple of seconds here, and you talk about your dogs or whatever you want your final take to be.
Talk your shit.
Listen, we the champions, two-time champion. Two-time. I think we on the cusp of three-peat. For all you naysayers, Soldier Girl's son, he hasn't been seen or heard from in a long time. He talked shit about the Bulldogs. We had a Gamecock on here talking about the Bulldogs. We had a Hurricane talking about the Bulldogs. We seen a Hurricane in 2001. For all you naysayers and haters, Talk about, Georgia team can't win the big game. We did that last year. We always lay down and lose, folks. We just sorry. We got one of my co-hosts sits up here and talks about Mark Rick like a dog. The man just went into College Hall of Fame. I don't know why, but he did. Hey man, I'm ready for football. We got 360 some more days to say we the champs and to defend our title before this college football gets out of haywire with these 12 playoff teams the year after. And we got Oklahoma and Texas coming in. Hey, every day you see me, I'm the champ. Don't say nothing else to me. What's up, champ? That's all I want to hear.
Oh my God. Okay.
What's up, champ? That's all I want to hear. And the belt is on the way. Woo.
Hey, that's all I can do. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. He's supposed to be on the girl. He's supposed to be on his soapbox. That's why I gave him the last eight.
I'm waiting on my other bottle that will be provided by Kev Liquidators.
Don't say that on fucking air. The hell?
I said liquidators.
I'll tell you what liquor store is in.
Oh my God.
I said liquidators. I didn't say Kev Liquor. I said liquidators. That means liquidators. You know what I'm saying? But this prestige bottle, I appreciate it. This is what we do here. We, on the show, we provide our hosts, co-hosts, and whatever we win, we're gonna make sure your team is represented well when you win.
Well said. All right, Skip, do you want to add anything on your last take?
Hey, man, congratulations to them garbage ass Bulldogs, man.
Don't do that.
Hey, listen, congratulations. You got the congratulations, so you had it now.
All right. Well, people at home, we appreciate you getting with us on this off time once again. Next week, we will be back on our regular schedule at 8 p.m. There's no Monday Night Football, so I know you ain't got shit else to do, so we'll see you there. But until then,
your fans that way.
Keep your beer cold and your wings lemon pepper, baby. We
so